Hi, I'm Coltyn Seifert, and I am a white belt. Been training for almost a year now, be a year in June. This was my first competition for Jiu-Jitsu, and it was on my 2018 goals. Went ahead and signed up for Grappling Industries. That was held in Kansas City as well. I felt comfortable with Kansas City. I felt that Kansas City would attract a lot of good talent. I got quite a bit more serious just because I knew the deadline was approaching to where, yeah, I'm gonna have to show up and I'm gonna have to compete and I'm gonna have to perform. So took the training a little bit more seriously, really dove into tutorials on YouTube and tried to drill as much as possible, throw the kettlebells more, just tightened up the whole workout routine and the whole training routine. We were really focusing on, how to do takedowns in NoGi, where are the sweet spots, the differences between gi and no-gi, because I'm actually a lot more comfortable in the gi because of the grips and that's what we've trained this whole time. But so we really were focusing on the fundamentals of no-gi. Woke up, guns blazing, I got the coffee, a little bit of breakfast, and it was my wife, my mother, and Caleb, who was going to be running the cameras, and so we headed up to Kansas City. I was trying to kind of remain calm, to remain relaxed, and just kind of flow with the emotions and enjoy the company that was with me. But the closer that I got to Kansas City, the more and more that I had scenarios running through my head. What would I do if he did this, or how could I react if he pulled this? Is the crowd going to be huge? Are there going to be a lot of people watching me? Is no one going to watch me? How many mats are there? I had no idea. The only competition I had been to was the one with Dave and Jason, and that was a fairly large competition. So I had all these ideas and things running through my head, and the closer that we got to Kansas City, the more intense that they got. Literally, the first thing that I saw on mat 4 was a gentleman that had passed out. He was convulsing and foaming at the mouth, and the referees were trying to bring him back to consciousness. So that's literally the first thing that I saw as I walked over, and I'm looking for Rick, I'm looking for Brian and Dave, and just kind of seeing how they're doing, and that's what I saw. So if I wasn't nervous before, after that, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to be that guy. So it added to the intensity of the whole thing. As I'm warming up, it's literally a gymnasium, and they don't have any like warm-up areas with mats or pads or anything. So I'm on this hard gymnasium floor. Caleb's got a camera in my face, and cameras attract attention, and so I could kind of see people eyeing me, and that did not help with my nervousness as far as like, oh, I have to compete, and I got cameras in my face, like, who is this guy? But that's just part of vlogging and part of documenting and doing what we're doing. So we'll see. The first thing Rick said was that competing cardio and rolling cardio are a lot different. So I was like, oh, great. That was kind of one of my biggest challenges in my mind is how do I get these guys down? They're really big, and there's no grips. The gi I can just grab and kind of fall, and hopefully that they come with me. But now I really have to focus on how do I get this guy to the ground without pulling guard or something like that. So I was really watching the competitions beforehand, and trying to pick up some of their moves and dictate what worked, what didn't work. And it helped me not think about me competing because I'm watching them compete. As the competition started, I'm shaky. I feel like I should have ate more. I feel like I should have ate less. I had a little bit of pre-workout, a little bit of shroom tech, coffee. So I'm wired. I tried to keep loose, but just, I couldn't stretch anymore, and I just felt tight. There was so much going on. Music was playing. People were cheering. There's 4 mats that are going on all at once. Girls over here, gi over here, no gi. There's a lot going on. So I really had to take my mental capacity and just bring the focal point to this one mat with this one guy and perform here, right now. Everything up to this point, every class I had been to, every drill that we had gone over, every roll, it just kind of came down to this one match. And once I did that, it wasn't so bad. It wasn't a giant gymnasium full of people and matches. It was just me and this one guy. And thankfully, I was able to pick up on Dave's voice. Dave Lopez, my coach, who was in my corner, And having him there was really, really important to me for support, but also he really helped me out during the roll. He obviously knows a hell of a lot more than I do, and so if I could just kind of listen to him as he says, oh, you know, put your hooks on this side, make sure, don't let him control your head. That way, you know, I can take that advice and kind of implement it into my roll. To recap that first round, I was rolling with the guy who was from the upper weight class, 230 plus, so I had to take that into consideration. Don't let him get on top of me. Stay on top for the whole 5 minutes if that's how long this round lasts. At the end of that round, it was 12-0 points, so won that by points. But when I stood up, I was so surprised about how tired I was just after that one round, after a 5-minute roll, which, you know, during class we roll for an hour, you know, 5 minutes at a time. And yeah, you get tired, but that was a different type of tired. I can't stop thinking about Jordan Peterson's lobsters. The lobsters, they fight each other, and the winner gets this big boost of serotonin, and he moves up in the hierarchy. So the whole time I'm thinking, just keep winning, keep getting that boost of confidence, that boost of serotonin, and that's not just happening to me, that's happening to everyone that's watching, including my competitors. So thank you to Jordan Peterson for that. You know, going into this, the strategy was very similar. You know, stay on top, remain in good position, get your points. If you're going for a submission, go 100%, but don't submit too early. Don't go for a submission too early. Make sure that you're setting it up properly and that you don't give it away so that he can, you know, prevent it from happening. And now it's in his head and he's thinking, oh, he's going for this arm bar. Oh, he's going to try to go for whatever. I ended up in his guard at one point, and I kind of realized that it wasn't locked behind me, and so I could scoot out, but he hooked behind my leg and somewhere on my side. So as I'm moving back, I'm actually dragging him, like I can't really get away from him. And then I realize that his right leg is under my left arm. And right then I was like, all right, I'm going for this ankle lock. Fell back. He tries to come up at one point, and my left leg just in place just throws him back down. You know, I cranked it to the left and he tapped. And really, that was that was like the best part of the whole match, because I'd been drilling that technique for so long and drilling it over and over and over again. I was really proud of myself to be able to pull that off during the competition and win that second round. The third and the final round was against the biggest guy there, the tallest, and he was a high school wrestler. So I knew that he had a lot of experience with, you know, a one-on-one match. This guy was so tall and so lanky that he could really take his hand and put it around my neck, and I could hear Dave yelling like, don't let him control your head. It was tough to go in and get grips on him without him getting grips on me. We're scrambling, we're throwing each other to the ground, and we kind of fall to the side. No one has dominance at this point. We're fighting for it. He ends up in my guard, and I hold this guard, and I'm kind of thinking, you know, triangle almost immediately, and Dave, like, reading my mind, is like, don't try any submissions from here, like, let things play out. So I'm like, okay. I immediately threw away that idea. He's getting ready to make a move for it. We scramble again, the guard breaks, we scramble again, and somehow he kind of ends up in turtle, and I'm like on the side of him, but I do have my arm interlocked with his arm. I can hear Dave saying like, reestablish, pull myself back up, be on top, and then from there we can orient myself into a better position. And I kind of just start pulling on his arm. And then I hear Dave say, you got the arm bar, you got the arm bar. Kept pulling. And as I pulled, I broke it free, got it all stretched out. And the next thing I knew, the ref hand was on my back and tapped out. So that's how the final one went. So it was really cool to end it that way, being the first competition. You know, afterwards, it was awesome. You know, they gave me this medal. I'm taking pictures with all the people that competed that day. It felt really good to be surrounded by, the Mat Club tribe. Got to be, my mom was there, my wife was there. It was all great to have that support. For now, it's back to the gym, back to Mat Club, get back to training a couple times a week, and we'll see when the next competition is. So, thanks for watching.